you about when my twins were born. They were born premature at 28 weeks, which is about 2.5 months early. When they were born, they were 2 pounds 2 ounces and 2 pounds 3 ounces, which is very, very tiny. When they were first born, they had to have a respirator to breathe for them, but after about 24 hours, they went ahead and took them off the respirator. They did have oxygen after that. That was just kind of to help them along breathing, but they didn't really have to have anything to breathe for them. They were in an incubator for about 6 weeks to get rid of the jaundice and everything. They had tubes and cords coming out of everywhere, IVs. They ended up staying in the hospital for about 2.5 months, which is when they would have been born. They came home at about 5 pounds, and they just had to do that because they had feeding tubes because they weren't strong enough to eat and didn't really have the sucking motion down and stuff. So they ended up coming home at about 5 pounds. When they came home on apnea monitors, which is a monitor that tells you if they stop breathing or maybe if they're choking when they're eating. And that luckily never went off with either one of them on purpose. On accident, if it got tied up or something, they would go off and we'd be alarmed, you know, running there, but it was nothing. As of now, they're pretty much caught up on the birth chart where they should be, and as far as we know, there's no long-term delays. They'll be starting school here in a couple of years, so hopefully we'll find out that there's no learning disabilities or anything like that. It was really scary, but we made it through it. And I was 20 years old when I had them, 21 years old, excuse me, when I had them when they were born. So.